Took one of our Gorilla Platoon members through a bulking or improvement phase, as we like to call it, period of around about a year. And as you can see from the screen, these were the before and afters. We managed to add a lot of density around the chest, the delts, and the arms. And I haven't put the back shot up, but also the back photos as well. So during this process, we have a select way in which we'll dial in an improvement phase. The biggest lesson I could give you if you're serious about a solid improvement phase is try not to just shovel food down you for the sake of it. I appreciate if it's your very, very first one, you just want to really add some more weight to you. But for the most part, slow and steady will always win the race. When we went through this approach, we obviously, our very first thing we did, we actually got him lean first. And that'd be the first thing I tell you for a successful bulk. If you're not already sat around 12% body fat, get lean first, because it's going to give you a long headway to build from. You're going to start leaner. When you get more food, you're going to look better because you're going to look fuller. That's going to skyrocket your motivation. Rather than starting from 18% body fat and knowing every time you're just going to get softer, 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 your motivation is going to really diminish because you're just going to look out of shape at that stage of the game. Like if you're above 20% body fat, you're just out of shape, really. You've got to get that sorted. So this is why we always go lean first, to give you a long headway, which we did with this guy, and it gave us all the way up to a year to sit in that improvement phase. Now, when we set that out, the main thing we're going to do is your fats and your proteins will have stayed relatively the same during that dieting phase. Maybe fats would have come down a little bit. We will bring them up steady. We're just going to slowly increase the dial of carbs when we need to, and maybe bring down output if output was high in the fat loss phase. So for output in an improvement phase, you're looking to just keep heart health. So I'm talking like 100 minutes per week, heart rate 120 to 130, steps are around 8 to 10K per day, just to keep your heart healthy, just to stay athletic, because you don't want to just become a breeze block that's unfit. So then what you're going to do is, as you go through this improvement phase, you're going to look at the numbers you're lifting week on week, and this is actually going to determine when you get more food, not the scale weight itself. So you're going to look at your numbers and be like, right, we are increasing across all the board. Perfect. Don't change anything. Keep everything on the input and output, because what this means is the food you're eating is yielding enough energy in to produce more force, more output every time you train. If it wasn't the case and you found for 2 weeks on the bounce you can't get another rep out on your flat dumbbell press, then more than likely you need some more energy in to exude energy out. You see the process here. It's like food in, energy out, and obviously sleep on the back end to recover and grow. It's not the food that builds the surplus. It's the fact that you're able to consume more energy, to produce more energy that builds muscle. That's what's going to actually gain you the muscle. I feel like people lose sight of that, and they just think eat, and before you know it, you just end up soft, you just end up fat. So the reason why this works so well is, a lot of you, if you don't take this approach, you'll just think, well, I'm not gaining, my scale's sat flat, let's up more food. The reason you're not gaining is because more than likely you're not training hard enough. So the food's going in, you're not really using it properly, and actually what would happen, you would just accrued more body fat as time went on. You just get softer, because the food's going on in, you're not using it, therefore it's just going to sit on you. So realistically, we can understand, for as long as you're getting stronger, you're putting use to that food, therefore growing, therefore we're able to build some solid muscle. It's just a steady increase. Like that surplus only needs to be 150, 200 calories, like 50 grams of carbs max, every time you turn that dial, and be very, very steady with it. Almost look at your improvement phase as like a haircut. You don't just want to go zoom and take too much off too quick, because you can't stick it back on after. But if you just keep taking bit by bit, you can monitor that as you go. It's like just a little bit more food, monitor that. How's the scale weight looking? How are the photos looking? How are we training in the gym? Just keep a hold of those. Now, this sounds simple, and as you say, probably, even if you haven't heard of it, it sounds very, very simple. You think, why doesn't everyone do this? The reason everyone doesn't do this is because it actually takes a hell of a lot of patience, which most human beings do not have. Most human beings, they want to see the result now. They want to see the numbers fly up now. They want to get massive in 3 months' time. To build a solid level of muscle, it takes a long time. Across a very good improvement phase, you might add 2 or 3 kilos of lean muscle. But what I will tell you with that is, that actually will make a very big impact on your physique. 2 to 3 kilos of lean muscle is night and day difference. It doesn't sound a lot, but on a physique, that is a really, really big increase. Obviously, it depends on the size of you, of course, but that is a very big increase. So if you think, he's going to put on like 5 kilos, 10 pounds of just pure lean muscle across a bulk, more than likely that's not realistic unless it's your very, very first one doing it, in which case you might do, or of course you're enhanced, in which case this video isn't really for you anyway. So just know you've got to have the patience through the game, and the way you do this is you've got to think, you're going to live this life forever. You're always going to be in the pursuit of growth, and just enjoy the process of always getting that little bit stronger. I think there's a lot to be said for doing something where your progress is always going up, but very steady, rather than something that jumps up, comes back down, jumps up, level down, because it's volatile. Whereas if we're always in that steady rate of gain, you're always going to feel good about what you're doing during this process. So the way I'll say with this, the approach is simple, but your ability to stay patient during this is what will actually get you through the long period of time. Having that long-term approach, knowing it's going to be steady, but you're doing it the right way. Because the alternative is throw loads of weight on, you're going to have to try and get it all back off, and then you do run the risk of like eating into some of that muscle if the deficit has to go on for a long period of time. So just take that steady approach, have the patience to it, and you'll be impressed with the physique. And this is what we did for our member here, for him to look the way he did 1 year later. So if you want us to do this for you, treat yourself. There'll be a link in the description, and we'll see you on the inside. Other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.